Hey, welcome back. This is Tom. I'm glad you took the time to check in. If you were successful in the last Edmodo tutorial and you created yourself a classroom and you are all set to have your students join, you may have noticed that at the end I said you should probably have something for them to do right away. Because if you look here, if I log in, now I'm logged in as a student. The student, remember Mr. Smarty Pants here, has logged in right away. He's clicked and he's joined the first hour class, and there is nothing for him or her to do. So that's your task today. Let's get back into our classroom. You'll see, make sure that you click on the correct hour that you want to create a post for, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But it's all pretty simple. As you can see up the top, it just says type your note here, and this is what you want your students to see. So this is how we begin an assignment. With what? All right, so please view the short video and then reply with what you have learned. That's what I want my students to do. And in this case, you can obviously type anything you want in that box. But in this case, I want them to watch a video, which you have to go get a video. And I happen to have already searched for one. And you're just going to copy the URL by right-clicking, and that little box will pop up. Go back into the post that you were creating, and you can see some attachments down here. I'm just going to attach a link. So you click on link, you right click, and you can paste in the information there. And then when you click on this box, title of the web page, just by clicking, Edmodo will take a moment to go find out what this address was and give it some kind of a label. In this case, I like this digital etiquette offering by BrainPop, which gives them just a moment to learn what good citizenship is online. It's something I liked to do with the very first group that I did. So that's almost it. Down here, you've got a box where you can choose who you want to send this to. It defaulted with the class that I was in. So for example, this is going to send to my first hour class, but maybe I want to send it to all my classes. So I can click in this box, and if I just start typing, it will, pick the ones that I've already got labeled there. So maybe I want to send it to my second and my third. Maybe I don't want to send it to my fourth, but I do want to send it to my fifth. I can do that. You can send them to a whole group at one time or just individual classes. So right now I'm going to change my mind and just send it to that first hour group. But I will do that. Just click send. It takes a moment, and then sure enough, there's the link that you just created. There's the post that you just created. And let's go back in and look what Mr. Smarty Pants has to offer here. If he clicks on first hour, it'll just refresh, and so there's that post that we just created. Students going to then follow whatever directions, hopefully, that you've given for them. In this case, I would want them to click on and watch this video. And then I ask them to reply, and that's something I want you're going to take a moment to share with your kids. Right up here, if they're not really paying attention, if they start typing here, you'll see, and they click that post, they can send it to their first hour. And you'll see what it looks like there. It's just it's going to make a mess, because if each student does that, all of a sudden this is just going to scroll down, and there'll be a whole bunch of posts that are fresh posts, and it's just going to push down my post. So it's something you're going to want to explain to your kids. I don't want you to create a post necessarily, and each student here, if they go over, they can delete that post. You can also delete the post from your end, but you might want to teach your students that. Rather than having them post to it, I want them to reply to that. So to do that, you're just going to hover over this, and you'll see there's an option to reply. When your students click on that, then they can write in their comments and click reply, and you'll see it will come in below the post. And every student can do that, and every student will just kind of follow this stream, and they'll all be connected to this post. Again, your students can edit their own posts, or you can edit their posts, but that's something you're probably going to notice the first day, and you're going to want to clean up that first day. Let's go back, because there's a post then. Let's go back into your screen. So again, we're back in the teacher screen. I mentioned that I wanted you to create a post or a note. The second thing you probably should learn to do is an assignment, and I'll show you the slight difference there between an assignment and a note and how it shows up on your end and what it looks like from a student's perspective. So let's go ahead. Oh, look, there's Tommy's little post. Nice job. Let's make an assignment. So this one, once again, you're going to have an assignment in mind. Oops, I think I went click an assignment here. It's going to give you an opportunity to give it a title, and I'm going to call this Zambia's Culture Conflict. Oops. And oops, let's fix that right there. Zambia's Culture Conflict. It also gives you a chance to describe what the assignment is. So I'm going to go with modern culture conflicts with tradition. I think I goofed that up there. Yep. Modern culture clicks with tradition. And you're going to want to give the assignment a due date. And let's just say, hey, this one's due on Friday. Once again, I happened to make a link, or I want to create a link. There's other things you could do with that, which I'll explain in another day. But I went and searched on CNN, and I found this really neat video on Zambia's skateboarding revels. And once again, you click on the URL, then you right-click, copy the entire URL, go back into the assignment that you were creating, and then you click link if that's what you're doing. And once again, clicking and then right-clicking, pasting in the URL, clicking into the box there will give itself a label, and you click attach. That's all nicely and neatly done. You can, let me show you one other thing here. We already know how to send it to one group or how to send it to multiple groups. You can also send links to an individual student. So if I start here and start typing, I'll see some options, and hey, there I can send it to just an individual student if I wanted, and then just that individual student would see that. I guess one thing to note here, students can message the whole group that they're in other words that whole first hour, or they can message you, but they can never message back and forth to each other. Anything that they post you can see, which is a neat little feature. Let me get Tommy off there, and we'll just post it to the whole group. I've got my due date, and I'm going to send it right now. You could go ahead and schedule it if you wanted to. That's pretty simple to figure out, but I'm going to go ahead and send it right now. So boom, we're done. Let's go look at from a student perspective what that looks like. So this should appear in just a second. If I refresh, there it is. You can notice the slight difference. This is the note that we made, or the post that we made. Slight difference here. The assignment that I sent to the kid actually has a turn-in button. This one does not have a turn-in button because I didn't force them to do that or require a certain amount or a certain date. That's something you can control on your own. But this one, I would have typed more and said, I want you to view this video, and then maybe in a well-written paragraph, whatever. You can say whatever you'd like there. So they'd go ahead and click the video, they'd watch it, and then instead of replying, they could reply and ask some questions of each other, but they're actually going to have to click turn in. So click turn in, and then it gives them an opportunity to type whatever they want. I thought the video. Okay, so they'll type in whatever they'd like there. If they want to attach a link back to that, or something from their backpack, which I'll explain the backpack another day. This assignment maybe they were going to do in a Word document or a Google Docs, and maybe they save that to their backpack. And then they can click the whole assignment that way, which is a neat way for them to send you larger writing, larger assignments. I'll get back to that another time though, but they're going to go ahead and send this, and maybe they're going to say, hey, I liked this assignment, or there's other options they can choose, or hey, you never taught me this. They're going to go ahead and click turn in the assignment. Then from the student perspective, they can click home, they can go back to their first hour, and they'll see that they turned in that assignment, and that the teacher still hasn't graded it yet. If I go back in as the teacher, I'm in the teacher again, and I'll go ahead and click first, and it should refresh that. Now it says, look, one student turned it in. So I can click on turned in and see, yep, Tommy Tweedy turned it in. I can click on turned in, and then this is exactly what that student wrote. I am going to grade that, but instead of grading, maybe instead of saying that's a 10 out of 10, which is a lot of typing. I don't really want to do that, especially if I have to do it every time. Let me take those off there. And I can click on Assignment Overview and give the default total is a 10. So now when I do that, click on default total, I go back into the student. Now the 10 is already there for me, which doesn't make a difference for one student, but when you do it for 100, it's a little bit less typing that you have to do. You click that and you click boop, there the kid's got a grade for it, which you can then look at and enter back into your gradebook. So I think that helps you a little bit seeing the difference between just a regular post and an assignment. There's certainly a little bit more to it than that, but I can share that at another time. And I told you that I was going to send you or give you one little fun thing to do today. So let's take a quick look at the little motivating factor of the badges. They're silly little things. They don't mean a lot, but they mean a ton to the students, and that's all that really matters. So once again, I'm in my first hour. I loved what little Tommy did here. So I'm going to click on members, and I'm going to choose any individual student or multiple students by just clicking on them. In this case, I'm going to click on little Tommy Tweedy, and over here I'm going to click where it says Award Badge. I'm going to click Award Badge. It gives you badges that Edmodo, these are Edmodo's badges. I didn't create any of these, neither will you. They're all automatically there. You can also quite simply make other badges, which I'll share with you another time. But for right now, let's just say, hey, this guy is awesome. He's my student of the month. And I click on the badge that I'd like. Down here, there's a little bit of stuff that goes with it, and I just click Award Badge, and you can see right here that Tommy now has one badge. I've just done that. It'll actually come up in the feed here that kid got the Student of the Month, so other students can see that and they're like, hey, Tommy, how'd you get that? And if I go into Tommy's here, it should show. Let's go there, buddy. I think if I go in the profile, you see. Let's take a second here that he's earned himself a badge. So it's kind of fun, and the kids really like that. So that's about it for today. So you can check back in another day, and I'll have more for you. Thanks again for listening. Have a great day.